Hey everybody, I'm Verdell Jones.
Hey guys, it's Maurice Williams.
This is Darlene Williams of the Black Authors Festival.
And I'm right on time for summertime.
And let me ask you, what inspired you to create this event?
Because I want young people like you to see images that they can aspire to become. So you're the inspiration for this.
I think it's so important for Black people to have a voice and to be able to tell their own stories authentically.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create this to honor some people in our community who are doing great things and highlight some of the famous people that, you know, are in our community. So that's why we wanted to start. And another thing we wanted to do is make sure that we address illiteracy rates in our community as well.
So how important is it to break down the negative stigma of the illiteracy that our community faces?
It's extremely important because if you don't know how to read, you can't craft the life that you want for yourself and for your family. In addition to that, if we're not cognizant of the fact that our voices are being censored, then what can happen is that we can revert back to slavery. Because there was a time when Black people were not allowed to read. In fact, it was illegal for us to read. So if we get back to that, we then get back to slavery. And if we get back to slavery, then that means that folks are controlling us and treating us in ways that are animalistic. So I'm saying no, not on my watch. I am saying that I am going to be a catalyst to stop that. And that's why I have used my platform to issue a national ban on the banning of Black books and to issue a national clarion call, if you will, that the Black Authors Festival, every month of August will be deemed the Black Authors Festival nationally.
That's going to be a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to see that go into full throttle and to make sure that our books aren't banned. Because if we can't be able to read, then how can we tell our stories? And then our stories are going to be erased. What else do we have?
Absolutely, and there will be no erasure of our culture as long as I'm alive. Because when you stand for something, or if you believe in something, right, someone can bring a different kind of belief and shift your feeling. But when you're convicted about something, then that means you will give your life for it. And I would give my life for it because I know how literacy has gotten me to another level in life. So I teach it. I'm an educator. I'm a parent. And I want to make sure that the future, you and people under you, that they know that there's a place that they can come and they can be comfortable in their skin, tell their stories, read about our stories, and defend our dreams authentically.
How are we able to annihilate the high percentages of those illiteracy in our communities?
Great question. You know, it has to be a community effort. The way that we teach children to read is very, very important. There's a lot of research out there that says the science of reading is the best way to teach a child how to read. But what happened was we moved away from that to something different. So now that we're going back and concentrating on really the fundamentals on how to teach children to read, I'm hoping that will improve our literacy rate.
What were some of the challenges that you faced creating this, and how were you able to overcome it?
You know, I think logistically, whenever you have an event, putting those pieces together sometimes can be a challenge, but I have a great partner in Darlene Williams. I have a great family, and we have a lot of support, so that really helped us put this event together.
I don't know if I've overcome it, and that's a good question. One of the things that I want to say is some of the challenges that we face as Black people is that we have to rally around one another to really support each other instead of tear each other down. That for me is a challenge because that's not who I am. I love to see everybody win. And if you're doing something that I'm not doing, I'm going to champion you and try to rally around that to support. I expect the same thing when I'm doing something so that we all win together. Unfortunately, we have not, as a people, reached a place where we're able to do that, and that really saddens me. So it is a challenge, but I haven't overcome it.
Now, what is one advice that you would give to those, especially kids who want to grow up to tell our stories?
I would say don't wait to grow up to do it. Do it now. Tell your story now. And don't be afraid to defend your dream, because anything that you want, you're going to have to work for it. And if you don't work for it, you're not going to get it. I would also tell young people that if you do the hard stuff, the easy things happen. If you look to do the easy things, the hard things happen. And they'll happen later in life when it's much harder to navigate. Do it now. Have faith in God and just move forward. And when people say no, utilize that as an indication that they are trying to shun you because they see your greatness, but they just hope you won't.
Aquaba to summertime, everyone. Today, I'm here with the facilitator of the men's panel, Mr. Maurice. How you doing today?
I'm fine, Sabara. How are you, beautiful?
Now, I'm doing amazing. Now, let me say thank you so much for facilitating the whole men's panel. It was actually really cool. I liked it and I enjoyed it.
Thank you, thank you.
So first of all, I want to know what inspired you to become the facilitator of the men's panel and also to work in our communities in the Bronx and in Harlem.
Well, what inspired me to do the men's panel is because when I grew up in New York City, I didn't see a lot of positive black men, so I decided to be number one, and then when I get a platform, I want to bring influential and affluential black men on the stage so kids growing up in marginalized communities could see what that looks like, because I'm going to bring it back to the hood. I grew up in a single parent home in the projects in Far Rockaway, Queens, and young people are my heart. Right? Young people are my purpose. I lived a long time and I didn't know what I was living for and what my purpose was. And so one day I found out that youth development is my purpose. And I opened up a company called A Father's Love, Personal Development and Community Services. And mainly I do this work because I didn't have a dad, and it's a lot of kids growing up without a dad. So I try to fill in the blanks for missing fathers. So I do this work because I love us.
What are some of the adversities that we're going to face if we don't stick together?
There are so many, too many to name right now. But the biggest one that stands out to me is that we are going to face more police killings of our women and children if we don't come together. So things like what happened to Sonia Massey and Sandra Bland will continue if black men especially don't come together and stand up for our community, for our women and our children.
I hope that we're going to be able to stick together so that that doesn't happen anymore.
Yes, definitely, we will, because I'm going to advocate for it with every breath in my body, and I'm going to keep doing it until it happens, and I pray that you pick up the torch and carry on, because we're going to need you. I'm getting old.
Thank you. Now, I live in Ghana, West Africa, and I'd like to teach you two words. Aquaba, which means welcome.
Aquaba.
And Madasi, which means thank you.
Madasi.
Yes.
Yes, Aquaba Madasi.
Yes. You got it perfect.
Thank you.
I would love to see you in Ghana one day.
Oh, I'm going to Ghana.
You are?
I'm going to finish up in Ghana because American soil is not where I want my bones buried. I want my bones buried in the soil, no casket, just my bones in the ground in the soil in Africa, and Ghana might be the place.